Hello everyone, this is the video of class 12 legal studies and we are dealing with the chapter that is legal education in India. Okay? Yes, so see. Regulated by the Bar Council of India, a statutory body has been established under the Section 4 of Advocates Act 1961. Legal education in India, it has been traditionally offered as a 3 years graduate degree. However, the structure has been changed since 1987. So, after 1987, the legal education has two structures as the 3-year degree course and the 5-year degree course. See, for the 3-year degree course, what is the requirement? The requirement is the graduation, and for the 5-year degree course, the requirement is 12th pass. Any institution which is imparting the legal education in India must be approved by the Bar Council of India. Keep this in mind, Bar Council of India. Law degrees in India are granted and conferred in the terms of the Advocate Acts 1961, which is the law passed by the Parliament both on the aspect of the legal education and also regulation of the conduct of the legal profession. Under the Act, the Bar Council of India is the supreme regulatory body to regulate the legal profession in India and also to ensure the compliance of the laws and maintenance of the professional standards by the legal profession in the country. However, for this, the Bar Council of India, it prescribes the minimum curriculum required to be taught in order for an institution to be eligible for the grant of the law degree. The Bar Council also carries on a period supervision of the institutions confirming the degree and evaluates their teaching methodology and curriculum, and having determined that the institution meets the required standards, recognizes the institution and the degree conferred by it. Traditionally, the degrees that were confirmed, they carried the title of LLB, that is Bachelor of Laws, or BL, we can say it as Bachelor of Law. The eligibility requirement for these degrees was that the applicant must have the bachelor's degree in any subject from any recognized institution, and therefore the LLB or the BL course was for the 3 years, upon the successful completion of which the applicant was granted the law degree. However, upon the suggestions by the Law Commission of India and also given the prevailing cry for reform, the Bar Council of India instituted upon an experiment in terms of establishing specialized law universities solely devoted to the legal education and thus to raise the academic standards of the legal profession in India. Now we'll see the interesting law universities. See, the decision was taken somewhere in 1985 and thereafter the first law university in India was set up in Bangalore, which was named as National Law School of India, popularly known as NLS. These law universities, they were meant to offer the multidisciplinary and integrated approach to the legal education. And it was therefore for the first time that the law degree other than LLB or BL was granted in India. NLS offered a 5-year law course upon the successful completion of which an integrated degree with the title of BA LLB Honours would be granted. Thereafter, the other law universities were set up, all offering 5 years integrated law degree with different nomenclature. The next in line was the National Law University set up in the Bhopal in 1997. First was Bangalore, the second is Bhopal. It was followed by Nalsar University. You can say it as NALSAR University of the law set up in the 1998. The National Law University in Jodhpur, it offered for the first time in 2001 the integrated law degree of BBA LLB Honours, which was preceded by the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences offering the BSc LLB Honours degree KIIT Law School. Bhubaneswar, it became the first law school in the India in 2007 to start the integrated law in 3 different streams and honours specialization, that is BA, BBA, BSc LLB Honours. However, despite these specialized law universities, the traditional 3-year degree continues to be offered in India by other institutions, and they are equally recognized as eligible qualifications for practicing law in India. Another essential difference that remains is that while the eligibility qualification for the 3-year law degree is that the applicant must already be a holder of the bachelor degree, on the other hand, to be eligible for the 5-year integrated law degree, the applicant must have successfully completed class 12 from the recognized boards of education in India. Both the holders of the 3-year degree and the 5-year integrated degree are eligible for the enrollment with the Bar Council of India upon the fulfillment of the eligibility conditions, and upon enrollment may appear before any court in India. In 2012, the University Grants Commissions approved 1-year LLM course in India, and the guideline for the same was notified in January 2013. Academic degrees. Following are the significant legal academic degrees which are offered in India. Which are those? C. Bachelor of Laws, that is LLB. The LLB is the most common law degree which has a duration of 3 years. Second is BA LLB, BSc LLB, BBA LLB and BCom LLB, that is integrated 5 years undergraduate degrees. Next comes as the Masters of Law. This is post-graduation known as LLM. It is the most common post-graduation law degree which has duration of 1 or 2 years. Last comes as the Doctor of Philosophy, that is PhD, doctorate or research program which has a duration of 3 to 5 years. Now, to grab these degrees, you need to take the admission in the universities, correct? So see the admission test. From 2012, the admission to LLB and LLM is the most of the autonomous law schools in India is based on the performance in Common Law Admission Test, that is CLAT. However, the National Law University Delhi and the private autonomous law schools, they conduct their own admission tests. The other entrance exams which are available for the admission to law courses in India, it includes AILET, that is AILET, then LSAT, that is LSAT, third is BVP CET and IPU, next is the AUAT and AMU law entrance exams, among others. Now, you must be thinking, if we study law, what would be the opportunities in the legal field? Correct. So we'll see the opportunities in the legal field. Following are the major areas in which the lawyer can set up his or her career. The first comes is the litigation. Graduates may practice as an advocate in the court of law. Second comes under the government institutions. Now, government departments, statutory authorities, public sector undertaking and regulatory bodies, they also provide the interesting opportunities to lawyers. Graduates may opt for the jobs in government sectors in institutions such as National Human Rights Commission, Law Commission of India and National Commission for Women, etc. etc. Next comes as the judicial services or clerkships. Here, the court system provides several avenues to the law graduates. The higher judiciary, that is the judges of the high courts and the supreme courts, they are the law clerks come research assistants who assist a judge in researching for the cases, maintaining paperwork, etc. Judicial clerks, they often sit in the court hearings with the judges. Graduates may write the All India Judicial Service Examination to avail of the positions in the Indian judiciary. Qualifying candidates, they start in the subordinate courts and may then progress to the higher court and the Supreme Court of India. Next comes the law firm practice. You have seen so many big law firms, correct? A lawyer can also join a law firm, and law firms vary in size and it has the wide practice areas. Next comes the corporate sector. Many of the corporations of the corporate officers, they hire the permanent legal advisor or an in-house legal counsel, so a lawyer can join the corporate house as well. Next comes the public policy. Now, what's the public policy? See, lawyers have an important role in formulating and advising on public policy. Several organizations, they employ the law graduates for policy making and have institutionalized fellowships where law graduates can be research assistants. For example, see, a law graduate is interested in public policy can apply to serve as a legislative assistant under the legislative assistance to members of the parliament, that is called as LAMP, LAMP fellowship program, which is run by PRS Legislative Research. Institutions such as Competition Commission of India and Securities Exchange Board of India also employ the law graduates for policy making in their respective fields. Then comes the legal research and academia. Graduates may attach themselves with the research centers and think tanks. Law graduates may take up the teaching and the research as a profession. The next comes the non-governmental organizations. Remember, that's the NGOs. Non-for-profit organization, especially organizations with social justice orientation, they have positions for the law graduates. Next comes the further study. Now, law is an interdisciplinary subject and graduates may opt for the further studies in related disciplines such as business, economics, anthropology and sociology. Then comes as the other avenues. Law graduates may opt for the different career paths such as politics journalism, legal journalism at places such as bar and bench, and Legally India as well as in the media houses, legal publishing, etc. Fellowships such as Teach for India Fellowship, Civil Services, etc. Next is the liberalisation of the legal profession. There is an ongoing debate about the issue of liberalisation of legal services sector in a growing economy. Given that India has signed the WTO treaty in the 1990s leading to economic liberalisation, it is also expected to liberalise the legal services sector under the GATS, that is General Agreement on Trade and Services negotiations and various free trade agreements, economic partnership agreements, etc. On the other hand, the Bar Council of India has consistently passed the several resolutions between 2002 and 2007 opposing the opening up of the Indian legal profession to foreign lawyers or the foreign law firms. In 2011, in a judgment which is delivered by the Bombay High Court on the public interest litigation, which is known as PIL, it was filed by the Lawyers Collective, a non-profit organization. The High Court held that the foreign law firms could not be permitted to set up the license offices in India. Contrary to this position, the Madras High Court, in response to the PIL which was filed by A.K. Balaji, permitted foreign lawyers to practice in India on a fly-in and fly-out basis. The Law Commission of India, in the working paper in 1999, it raised the pertinent issues and concerns while recommending the amendments to the Advocate Acts to prepare a level playing field for the Indian lawyers. There is no resolution in sight regarding this issue. The next is the globalization of legal profession. All around globalization also started influencing the legal field. In fact, in today's globalized world, it is almost impossible to allow one item or service to get globalized and restrain others and keep that local. Correct. Besides, the truth is globalization increasing the flow of people and information across borders, which also has increased the international issues and disputes, and it needs legal services. Therefore, the global opportunities for trained lawyers also increased. Typically, the opportunities are available in common law-based jurisdictions such as the United States and the United Kingdom, and to an extent Australia and Canada. However, in the legal field, there is a problem, that is, unlike many other professions, lawyers trained and licensed in one jurisdiction may not be licensed to practice in the other jurisdictions. Lawyers trained in other jurisdictions will have to re-qualify in order to practice in the foreign jurisdictions. Given the globalization of the legal profession, a number of lawyers have dual qualifications. So, moreover, it is true that globalization of the legal profession, of course, facing many issues regarding moral to technical, but in future it will be made easier, as without it the trade and business will be very difficult. I hope you will be clear with this video what we have studied today. So if you have any query, any doubt regarding this video, do comment in the comment box given below and stay tuned for the further videos. Thank you, take care and stay safe.